a friend. So I'm glad to be alive. Are you glad to be alive? Clap it up one more time for P.O.W.E.R. Presenting opportunities where everyone rises. We are so glad that you are in the room. Clap it up for yourself. I know we still serving and eating and we still licking our fingers, but if you could lay it down for 1 second and clap it up for being alive. Woo, this could be a funeral we're having in here today. But we're all alive. Can you clap it up for our funders? Northwestern Medicine, U Chicago Hospital, yeah, United Way Metro Chicago, the Joyce Foundation helped us out, and Bright Star. Community outreach, bring them tables for Bright Star. Community outreach. Let me calm down a little bit. I am really just glad to be alive. That's my saying today. I'm glad to be alive. We live in a dangerous world. Bullets flying all around us that we don't even know about, and it missed us. Miss me, you miss me again. I'm glad to be alive, and I'm glad you're alive. Let's put our hands together for our CEO, Pastor Chris Harris, in his absence. Now, if he was in the room, y'all would do a lot better than that. I want him to hear it. Don't we just love him? He is amazing. He is amazing. That's on and off the screen. He is the same way. You're going to find him the same way in every space. And for our executive director, let's clap it up for Lucretia Kindred. They're both out there getting some money for us to keep this going. I say put your hands together a little better than that. Because if it wasn't for them doing such hard work, we would not be in this room. Clap it up for my leaders, Pastor Chris Harris and Lucretia Kindred. Yeah, then we got some good people in the room too. Our AV team keeps us on track back there. Clap it up for Phil and for Christian and for Joe. Clap it up. Our security keeps us safe. Thank you for Mr. Kirkendall over there. Yeah, and his team, thank you for and to our volunteers who fed you today. I'm so blessed. I am so blessed and happy to be here. And for Elise, clap it up for Elise. She don't like that. Yeah, she makes sure we got bingo cards and chips and for Shaq. Where's Shaq at? I just saw her. Where's she at? There she is. Clap it up for Shaq, everybody. She got the money, so y'all should really clap it up for her. Before we started today, I gave 2 gift cards away already. I asked them to check the back of their pocket, right, to see who had a ticket in their back pocket. And my sis right here, wave your hands at us. She won the first gift card today. And then a young lady who's been here since 10 o'clock. We don't start till 12. But when you ride public transportation, you are not in control when you get dropped off here. And I told her, I am very sorry, but I have to go to work. But feel free to sit and wait for someone to unlock the door. And she gave me no issue. So we gave her a gift card right here. And the first one here today at 10 a.m., a gift card. Clap it up. Now, if it was you want somebody to clap for you, wouldn't you? That's a little better. That's better. So we're going to go to a commercial. And when we come back, we're going to hear from our guest today, who we'll introduce when we return. Stay tuned.
Jenner & Block's work has allowed us to realign with our mission, refocus on our clients, and beyond that, rethink the way that we do things. That advice and that counsel is invaluable to us, and many other community-based organizations need the Jenner & Blocks of the world.
Bright Star had a huge development that they were going to be working on in short order. That would be a great experience for Allie and I to work on together in the firm to support, given the needs that they have in the Brownsville neighborhood.
We have been assisting them with all the nuts and bolts of the real estate transaction. The BrightStar team is large and well equipped, but we are helping them navigate what is the kind of arcane and difficult world of acquiring property.
The mission of BrightStar is to strengthen hope and save lives in the greater Bronzeville and West Pullman-Roseland communities by providing trauma counseling, workforce development, and addressing the social determinants of health. It's a gamut of services that we provide. The work is working, but we needed organizations like Jenner to come in and help us to take care of the legal work while we focused on the violence prevention work. The exciting part about the Turn Center is it's a 68,000 square feet repurposed school that allows us to provide the services that we provide in that facility. And in addition to that, we have more than just BrightStar Community Outreach in there. 25 other community-based organizations serve in that facility. We have created a replicable, scalable model, the Turn model. It brings all the partners to the table, hospitals, the United Way, and so many other entities that are saying it's not just about one entity, it's about all of us doing better together.
So far, we have acquired, I believe, 5 parcels for BrightStar. We also have another property under contract, which has a church. And every single property that we're talking about has issues, whether it's environmental issues, real estate tax issues. Many of these properties have various code violations that have been cited against them for not mowing lawns or not dealing with trash, and those need to be cleared up. But it has taken us more in terms of due diligence to understand the asset and get comfortable with it and advise the client of the risks associated with it. While it has its challenges, I think they can be overcome. It has been a great experience to be part of the team that is helping BrightStar provide these services to the community. And ultimately, this is a probably 5+ year project that, you know, Allie and I are not the only people working on it. We have drafted in other people to assist us on the legal front. So it is truly a team effort.
What's been really valuable about getting to work with and for BrightStar is how immediately enmeshed it felt like the pro bono work I got to do was right here in the Chicago community. We are helping build something that is long-lasting and impactful not only to the larger Chicago community, but a community in Chicago that is in need of further assistance.
I believe this work is so important because a lot of people in the neighborhoods in Chicago don't feel organizations like Jenner and B.O.W.E.R care about the issues that we live in Black and brown communities. This work and partnership is proving that wrong. And I believe it is a model for everybody else to pay attention to. Violence in Chicago is not just a problem that belongs to Black and brown people or the South and West Side. It's all of our problem. And Jenner and B.O.W.E.R has gotten involved in unbelievable, unfathomable ways.
For my CEO, Pastor Chris Harris. I tell you, he's an amazing human. He's an amazing human and an even better leader he is. So we thank God for him and for his vision for BrightStar Community Outreach, because he's why we're here. He is why we're all here. Clap it up one more time for him. All right, we're going to bring to the stage my guest today. This is Vanshika Okla. She's a community leader, advocate, and program coordinator dedicated to strengthening individuals and communities through recovery support, workforce development, and restorative initiatives. She serves as a Region 1 Southeast Side ROSC coordinator with transitional training services and 3 cords strong, helping build collaborative systems that promote healing, wellness, and opportunity. Passionate about currently or culturally informed care and community empowerment, she is supported. Okay, let me take these glasses off because I'm messing this up. She has supported initiatives focused on harm reduction, reentry support, youth engagement, and alternatives to arrest for individuals impacted by substance use disorders. Coming from a large family, Vanshika is also a proud wife and mother of 2. Outside of her professional work, she enjoys learning about different cultures, meaningful conversations, so true, and creating spaces that inspire growth and growth, and hope. Can you put your hands together for Vanshika? Vanshika, I butchered that, but how you doing today? Get your mic.
Oh, hi, how are you doing?
Doing good, and you?
Pretty good.
You know, you've been around here for 4 years, and this is the first opportunity that you have been given to talk to us about what you do. But I appreciate your friendship and your collaborative just ways that you have supported our work in one way or the other. Clap it up one more time for Vanshika. Ain't she beautiful? So Vanshika, I just want you to just tell us a little bit about yourself first before we get into these questions. Tell us all about yourself. Them earrings is busting too, sis. I like that. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm Vanshika Okla. I am from Chicago. I don't think I would have to talk about myself.
Yeah, just tell us a little bit.
So I am the baby girl of 8 children. And so I do come from a large family. My mother's side, there are about 15 of them, and then my father's side, so we roll deep, basically. I love traveling, and I love other cultures, and so I've lived in other countries. I've lived in China for about a year. I could speak almost fluent Spanish. I still chop it up, and I
give us a little bit. Wait, let me give you what I
okay,
have.
let me hear it. Hear what you have.
Pasta. That's it. That's all I got.
She gave me the thug life que-pasta. You saw the shoulder, the position. Que-pasta.
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 What you got?
¿Cómo estás? ¿Sí? Bueno.
Oh.
Me llamo Vanshika, ¿y tú?
Wow.
I said was my name is Vanshika, and you.
We don't know nothing. That's it.
That's all.
Que-pasta.
No, wait. Ni hao.
Okay, that's Chinese.
Qué bueno. Dios mío. Wait, Spanish.
Wait.
Chinese. 我的名字是王希佳，你的名字是
We don't know what you're talking about, Vanshika.
All right, back to English.
Yes.
So I love cultures, love languages, love communities, all of it. So that's a bit about myself. So
well,
I guess
we're going to clap it up for that because you know Chinese and you know Spanish. I don't know too many people that can say that. I don't know anybody that can say that but you. So now tell us a little bit about transitional training services. How did it start? And how does it serve our community?
So Transitional Training Services is a training program. We work with those who are recovering from substance use challenges.
Okay.
And basically we offer recovery support services. So peer coaching, recovery coaching, employment coaching, and job training. So we train in forklift, flagging, and painting. OSHA certifications, and so they're certifications that last for 3 years. It's a free program. We even provide bus cards for people who need them.
Wow.
So we've been doing it for about 20 years roughly. We started in Dawson Technical Institute before we moved down the street from you guys on 44th and King Drive, and so it started actually from us having a construction company.
Yeah.
And a lot of the people who we employed were, how do I say, either returning citizens or they really couldn't get an equitable employment. And so we found that once people had felonies, that it was hard for them to find employment that would sustain them and their families once they got back. So there were either two options. You would go to a job that would not pay you much, or you would return back to jail. Recidivism is still pretty high. And so what we decided to do was to employ people, but there was only so much employment we could do. And from out of that birthed Transitional Training Services, where we started training people so that they could have the skills to go out and be within those industries.
I love that. Clap it up for that. That's hard work. That's hard work, because if you have someone who was in prison and now they're released to the community with no options.
No options.
You know what's going to happen. Eventually, they'll return
You're
back
gonna
to
be-
where they came from. Not that they want to, but that's the only choice they have.
Yeah.
So your organization gives them an opportunity to work
Yeah.
and to get back on their feet for their family.
Absolutely.
Man,
We believe in that.
that's good work right there, by
Yeah,
Sheikah. That's
yeah.
good work. What is Three Chord Strong, ROSC Alliance, and what does ROSC mean?
So ROSC, ROSD stands for Recovery Oriented Systems of Care. And the word system is kind of what we should pick out in that word. Whenever we see a problem, sometimes we attempt to maybe medicate the symptoms. We don't really go to the cause of it. And so some of the causes of our problems in the community are larger than the symptoms we see right now. And so ROSC is recovery-oriented systems of care, meaning we look at systems to see how these systems influence our current problems with people who aren't able to get help, even if they want to recover. They don't have B.O.W.E.R, they don't have access to hospitals, they don't have access to good treatment facilities. And so their likelihood of recovering within their community goes down dramatically because they don't have access to it. And so we attempt to change those systems. We attempt to reduce stigma so that people don't feel ashamed for walking into a facility to say they need help.
I like it.
Yeah, we attempt to make sure Narcan or test strips are available so people, even if they are using, because we understand that addiction doesn't just get cured by willpower. And there are some people who believe that it does. They believe that if you wanted to stop, you could just stop, and you should stop, right? And so we've kind of understand now that there's a lot more medical health issues attached to substance use. And sometimes people are still using so that they don't have to go through withdrawals, so that they don't have to feel that kind of pain. And even when they do want to get off, that body that has probably been used in substance for the last 20 years can't just come off. That requires professional help, and that's kind of some of the conversations we don't have. And so what we do at ROSC is make sure that these conversations do start happening. There is education so that people know, right, when Uncle so-and-so is in the house and he's trying to steal grandma's pearls, right? When those things are happening, we understand the mind that's going into that. That's not how he would normally behave, and that's why we're so shocked. I know you, right?
Right.
And it's like, well, you don't know what that person is like with this new substance in their system. It's worse than hunger. It's worse than being...
You said it's worse than hunger.
Worse than hunger.
According explain that to me.
Well, there's a study that was done where people looked at the effects of what happens to a person who has been starved with food. And so it's a controlled study, but they have people who agree to not eating. They just give them enough vitamins, but then you don't eat. After a while, they put them in an MRI to kind of measure their brain activity.
Yeah.
And so they kind of start talking to them about their favorite foods. They bring in KFC or whatever they like to eat, and they just let KFC, them smell it, right?
Don't say KFC.
Don't say it. But then they measure like how their brain lights up. And when they measure it, they say it's the size of a baseball that lights up with starvation. Mm-hmm. They looked at water also, people being dehydrated. And so they do the same thing. And then when they look at their brain, they say that their activity, when they start talking about water or waterfalls, after they haven't had water in a long time, it lights up to the size of a basketball. However, when they do the same thing with drugs of any nature, right, they put them in the same MRI after they haven't had it, and they just start talking to them about it. Yeah. And they say the brain lights up to the area of a baseball field.
Oh!
Yeah, and they say that it's after that, it's just survival. It's not just, like a desire. After that, another part of the brain takes over, and it's almost like if I don't get what I need, I might die. That's what the brain is communicating to that person. And so that's why we make sure families understand. I mean, that works when it comes to whatever heartbreak you've gone through when you've witnessed somebody you love going through that, because why are you doing this? And if you know the science behind it, you know that it's not just that person anymore. You know that they do need help. They do need medicine along with helpful healthcare treatment. So not just medicine, because some people say, oh, they get addicted to buprenorphine or they get addicted to these things. And so we pair that. We don't say you just need one. You need a couple of things.
Yeah.
And again, we're addressing systems.
Is anybody learning anything about addiction today and recovery? I don't think I ever realized that an addiction is more important to a person than eating or drinking just water.
And I just want to add one thing to it. Like, so we all got up. You probably got up and took a shower this morning because you have a certain level of dopamine within your body, right?
Yeah.
You didn't struggle much for it. Some of us rolled out a bit, but you still have a certain level that helps you do normal functions. When a person is introduced to a substance, that dopamine level shoots up to 1,000. And you think after they're done, it'll come back to normal. It's not usually what happens. It drops below normal. And so normal things that they used to be able to do, like go to a graduation, just get ready for work.
Yeah.
They can't do anymore because their dopamine is at a depression level. And so they have to usually have something to get back up to a normal level. And usually people who are medicating are just medicating enough to get to a functional level. And especially if there's a healthcare person helping them do it.
Wow. So where a family member would say, you lazy, or, what's wrong with you? You can kick it if you want to.
Right.
Don't really understand what's happening to their body chemically. So is there anything like for families do you have a family counseling for those who are walking with a person that's in recovery?
Yeah, so we do partner with groups like Southside Heroin Opioid Task Force, and I like what you're saying because there are a lot of there are groups for families of people, especially children. Children go through it the worst because they don't know what's going on. A parent comes home one way and does something, and then now they're a different person. So if you hear kids kind of describe their experience with parents who are addicted to substances, like mommy has changed into the monster, or daddy has, right? It's the change has happened. Let's hide under, right? So they don't know what's going on, and so there are groups and healthcare professionals that do help with that. That being said, not enough within our communities, right? A lot of times we have to travel up north or go someplace else to get those things. And so that's why we advocate for those kind of services being in our communities.
Clap it up for Vanshika and her work. It's invaluable, period. Tell us a little bit about 3 Chords Strong. What does it mean? What does 3 Chords Strong mean?
So 3 Chords Strong, so in the Bible.
Yes,
that's where that comes from. So
yes.
Ecclesiastes talks about how 2 are better than 1. At least if they're together, they can keep each other warm. If they're fighting, they can fight back to back. And then it says a cord of 3 strands is not easily broken. And what that means is that it's not good to be alone by yourself, especially if you're dealing with a substance. As a matter of fact, when Adam was created, the only problem God said there was he was alone. He was alone. It's not good for man to be alone, right? He had God. Yeah. The animals were there. Yeah. Nobody like Adam, though. He said there's one problem. It's huge. And so when we ask people to go through recovery or to help themselves, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, we deny that they need help. They need themselves. One, we don't leave them out of it. Right. They need their community, and they need help from God. And so we do admit that there is need for a community approach when it comes to recovery.
Let's talk about mental health issues today. Now, we touched on it a little bit. What has been, without naming names or anything like that, your biggest challenge as it relates to mental health issues with someone that's in recovery or is struggling to get free of a substance?
So our biggest issue when it comes to mental health is that sometimes we see that there's a substance use challenge, And we don't realize that there could be another co-occurring challenge, which is another mental health thing that happened. Sometimes even if that person had no mental health issues before the substance was introduced, after the substance was introduced, they could develop other mental health issues. And so it's almost like sometimes people will try to treat the substance without treating the mental health. And in truth, we do need both. Sometimes a person will have a mental health issue present, and they might medicate themselves using substance. And so this happened with one of my friend's brothers. He had schizophrenia, and he would use marijuana to self-medicate himself so that he would be functional. And so whenever we look at these two in tandem, we notice that you can't deal with one without looking at the other. And I know we're trying to address a lot of our mental health issues by having telehealth, by having, one of the cultural things that I've realized that we need in our community is a healthcare system that looks like it was made for the culture.
Yeah.
A lot of times it's hard for people to go into a hospital. We don't really trust the healthcare system for a good reason, right? There's a lot of historical things that have happened, right? Black people don't feel pain at the same level, so don't give them the medicine. Or they could take more, right? These things are documented and well known. And so when people push back from that, we can't say, but you should just trust us. Well, what makes it different now? And so our healthcare professionals and our healthcare systems have to kind of look like what we might be used to. And by that, I mean, people can advocate. I would like to speak to a Black person who I might be able to relate to. And you can ask for that.
You can ask for that.
You can ask for that. You can say, with this person who's talking to me, I feel like they're talking down to me and they don't understand where I'm coming from. So I want to speak to someone who looks more like me.
That's good.
And then when we can change the system, maybe we can have groups. Maybe we can have what we think healthcare should look like. What we feel like. I really wish maybe this hospital looked like a house or looked like my grandmother's living room. I felt comfortable talking in that atmosphere and really saying, okay, well, let's structure it that way. How do we, as Black people, as maybe I don't know if anybody Hispanic is in here, but within this community, when we used to talk about our issues, what did the space look like that allowed you to open up home, right? So it might need to look like that.
And this is why there is the Ronald McDonald House.
Yeah.
For the same reasons,
Yeah.
to make kids feel like
At
they
home.
are home.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
And let's just get this done. That
Yeah.
seems like a healthy way to treat someone who may be struggling in that area.
One of the places that I did visit was in Ghana. I went to one of the recovery facilities. And one of the things is that everybody had a job to do. It was almost like a compound. People were helping farming, helping clean, and it was like you were a part of the community again.
Yeah.
And what they did was they fostered a community in a way where it wasn't just about recovery. It was about the recovery of your life. And maybe some of those skills you might not have had anymore. Or you might have made selfish choices. And now we got to make choices as a collective. And so it's wonderful to see how, again, as a collective, we can see what should this look like for us.
So it's not only about being healed. It's about becoming whole again and getting everything back. Not just your health and your mental health and being free from addiction, but getting all of the things back that made you before you started.
Absolutely.
Using. Is that what you do at your organization? Can we
That's-
clap it up for
that's what we
Vanshika
do.
for that? Vanshika, what role does employment, job training, and economic opportunity play in long-term recovery and community wellness?
Oh, this is a good question. So we were just having a community discussion 2 days ago, and we were talking about these teen takeovers, right? We're like, what do we need? We're like, we need the parents to be at home. We need this, right? I was talking to people about some of the things that have happened systematically in our communities.
Yeah.
So if you look at households, I thought after slavery, we had always just been doing bad. And someone told me, you should look at how Black families were doing in the 40s through the 60s. And when I looked at that data, I found out that 60%, over 65% of children were in two-parent households. They had two-parent households. Once you go after the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, the number drops to 40% of children at least being without two parents, one parent. And even if you don't like traditional housing, that's still two incomes, right?
Yeah.
It's still more money in the house.
Yeah.
Then in the 60s, you also have industrial jobs moving out of the communities. You have all of these places where people would work, and you have black men particularly looking for work, and they couldn't find it. And then you had government services coming in and saying, okay, well, if it's just you by yourself and that there's no man at home with you, I can help you. And so you have these people saying, okay, well, I can't be at home with you. I can't find a job, but my family's hungry, and we need these government assistance to help with, there's no jobs in our community.
And if I got to lie about it, you get in the closet, they're at the door, get in the closet.
Get in the closet, get under the bed.
Get under the bed.
They here.
Get on the what is it, the balcony, not the balcony, but get out on the stair thing until he leaves.
And someone coming through your house and seeing, is there a tie in the closet, right? You got to hide all the evidence that man exists.
Yeah.
And then, so you have no jobs.
No jobs.
Jobs are out of the community. And you have families who need help. And then you have heroin. The heroin oh my gosh. And so you have all of these factors. And that's why I say always look at the systems, because we didn't wake up like this.
We didn't wake up like this.
We didn't wake up like this.
Yeah, your son and your daughter didn't wake up like this.
We did not. They did not wake up like this.
Your uncle, aunt, they did not wake up like this. And we have been, like you said, putting a Band-Aid on the issue
for
we got to dig deeper to find out how it got there in the first
Exactly.
place.
That's the only way we can address the system. And so there are studies that show families stabilize when there is jobs and housing. Families, those kids, they need a family who has a way to sustain them. Right? There's studies that show that when there's a factory that comes and people can go to work, that the kids do better. And so when you ask that question, like how important is jobs and all that, it's critically important for us, right? We don't have to self-medicate because there are no jobs and because now you got violence.
Come on.
And you have people, we are humans. We were not designed to handle this much violence. You get PTSD, kids with PTSD. I remember reading the story, There Are No Children Here. It was a book about Chicago. And all of the stuff that these kids were seeing. War was not an instrument we were designed to live in for this long.
Come on.
Right? We didn't sign up for this. And so people do self-medicate. People do feel the brunt of not having work. And they feel despair. It's a strong word. It goes into the deepness of hopelessness. And so in order to restore that, we have to work on restoring human dignity. God gave Adam a job.
Yeah.
He gave him purpose. Eve has talents and skills, right? We got to use that. The question that we ask kids, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a good human being who's able to use the skills and talents God has given me in order to make this world a better place.
I love it.
The whole world is waiting and groaning for the manifestation of the sons of God. We have talents and skills. We can't use them. We can't. So we need to create jobs. And those jobs need to be better than McDonald's. They need to be better than $15 an hour. Who is that going to feed? Right? And so that's why when we created Transitional, we targeted jobs that started at $20 an hour, $26 an hour. We don't train in anything that does not pay you well, because we know that you need to work as a person and you need to have as a person, and you need to be able to sustain yourself.
Clap it up for Von Shika. Do you feel that passion? I feel the passion, and that's what it takes in order to be effective in the job that you do. She is absolutely the right person for this job. Can you encourage her right there? Encourage her right there. Thank you, Phil.
Thank you.
Speaking of passion, why are you so passionate about this work, and what keeps you motivated to continue to serve the community? What is it?
It's because I know that there's nothing more important to God than lives. I know that at the end of the day, that when the Bible says, I'm not slow in punishing, I just desire that nobody should perish. I desire that people come into repentance. If God values the restoration of human beings, if we value, like God, the restoration of human beings, we'll see our world change. When Moses was leading the children of Israel out of Egypt, and he was at the Red Sea, and Moses looked at God and he said, God, what am I supposed to do? Yeah. The people are complaining. There's a sea in front of us. Yeah. And God looks at Moses and says, why are you talking to me? Take the staff that's in your hand and raise it up. It's almost like he's asking the question, I gave you talents, skills, ability to deliver who I've called you to deliver. And so while you're looking at me and complaining, I'm looking at you and asking, why aren't you using the staff in your hand? And so I am convicted that I have to use the staff in my hand to deliver whoever God has called me to deliver. And so that's why we have this passion. And I know you all have that passion.
Yeah,
God
we do.
is giving you a staff. He's giving you something, and you use it. Because at the end of the day, God is not going to ask you how much money you made. He's not going to ask you what car you drove or how big your house was. He's going to look at the souls connected to you and say, how many people were saved? He said, as much as you do for the least of these, you've done it for me. And so when you get to heaven, you can hear a well done, good and faithful servant.
Come on.
That's why we passionate.
Don't you love her? This is my friend right here. I'm telling you, this is my friend. This kind of people I hang out with because they empower me to be a better person. They remind me that I'm not just here filling a seat, but I have a job to do while I am here. Amen. And she came to stir up the faith in you that you will continue or begin to do what God has called you to do. And the people in your life that are experiencing substance abuse, don't throw them away. Your words have power to bring them to an expected end that God has created for them. Yeah. Are we having church today?
We will in a few seconds.
Let me get my offering basket. I'll split it with you, Vanchi. Oh, what are some of the current goals and priorities that 3 Chord Strong ROSC Alliance? And how can community members, don't y'all want to get involved?
Yeah.
Tell us how to get involved. What are your goals and priorities right now?
One of the goals that we have, or 2 of the goals, right? Employment.
Hold on, I told y'all, didn't I?
Yeah.
I told y'all before we got started that somebody's phone was going to go off. All right, find the phone, please, and turn it off, because I don't want y'all to miss this, for real. Is it my phone? It is. I'm sorry. Let me apologize. Hold on, turn this thing off. Vanshika, hold on one second. Let me fix this. And who was calling me? Y'all know I'm working.
I wasn't going to say nothing. I was like...
Y'all know I'm working. I'm so embarrassed. No, right. I'm not.
It's all right.
It's them people.
It's them people.
Go ahead, Vanshika. Continue, and I'm a dig for this phone. Oh my God.
Okay, two of the things we're working on right now, right? Getting more employers to hire people who might have a background or who are recovering from substance use challenges. Now, they might be saying, well, our insurance doesn't cover them, but there are ways to get around that. So right now we're advocating with employers and trying to identify ways, again, to create jobs. Because once you create jobs, you could create sustainability. I don't have to look for housing for you if your job can pay for housing. Yeah. Right? If you could be working.
Yeah, you could be working.
It's not enough housing anyway out here.
Listen.
So that's one of the things we really need to do.
Yeah, and I remember when I was out of high school, I did not go to college right away. I was coming out of high school, and the job that I had while I was in high school, because I started working in 11th grade, and I would just go to school 2 weeks out of the month, because the rest of the time I was in a program at high school that gave me a job, and I would go to work. So it taught me that I would go to school for 2 weeks and go to work for 2 weeks. But when I got out of high school, I was not prepared for them to tell me, we don't need you anymore because you graduated. So I know what it feels like to be unemployed.
Yeah.
What it makes you feel like. And then when I got a job, how I felt. I felt like I was worth something.
Yeah.
So people who are not working, they don't not want to work. They just can't find employment. Or if they were in the system, they can't get a job because of their past.
Exactly.
And that's where you come in.
Yeah.
You give them hope.
Yep.
You are Moses in our community.
Yeah.
I said, she's Moses in our community, y'all.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Come on, Vanshika.
We give them hope and we advocate for them. We speak up for them. We try to make sense for them because sometimes they might try to do it for themselves and they can't get into the doors they need to get into. But I'll get into some doors.
I know you will. You won't bust them down. That's right. Is there anything? Go ahead.
There's one more thing we're working on, and that's deflection. Deflection is when if an officer encounters someone who might be using a substance, right, who might be on something, they commit a minor offense, that they get referred to treatment instead of jail. And this is really important, right? We all say humans create laws, right? And so every law that is created on the books does not mean it's a just law. And this is where Martin Luther King really went to bat for people, because if he saw a law and he said, okay, this is a law that was created, but an unjust law is no law at all, especially if you measure it against the law of God. And so all of these laws that bar people from being able to work again, you can't be a lawyer, you can't be a doctor, you can't be a teacher, you can't be a real estate agent. There's so many things you can't do when you have a felony, or if you're under some challenges. And so we want to allow people to be able to go into some doors again that maybe they've been barred out of. And so we advocate for that. Deflection, I want you guys to remember this word, because we're talking to Police District 3, who has been really sweet, to District 6. We're just talking to officers about what deflection looks like for their district. And this coming down the pipeline is within the Safety Act and is outlined within the Accountability Act that we were put under after the Laquan McDonald thing. I'm saying things that are really important because I'm saying that it's not illegal to refer to somebody else because of these laws to treatment instead of jail. And we know the impact of jail. Even if you sit in that cell for a little bit of time, as statistically it records that your likelihood of success drops just from a little bit of time. And so we don't want people entering the penal system for no good reason. They need treatment, and we need to have treatment for them. And again, if you look a certain way, classically, you've been put in jail for just because you look a certain way. When someone else gives Billy and Johnny another chance, they just had a hard time, right? Yeah. They get another chance. We need opportunities for other chances too. And again, we're not talking about murder. We're not talking about anything hard. We're talking about offenses that have been outlined as minor offenses and that people could, do something else. And so I want you to attend your beat meetings. Beat meetings are meetings that police officers have within your district.
Good.
And if you don't know them, you can call down to your district and ask them, when does our beat meeting meet? And when you're there, I want you to advocate for deflection for people with mental health illness or substance use challenges to be reverted to treatment facilities. We also meet as a Ross Council the last Thursday of every month, so we're meeting tomorrow. You're invited to those meetings.
We can come?
You can come. You can come and you meet everybody. You meet our officers who attend, our partners.
Wow.
You're invited to, because we need your voice at the table.
Yeah.
So those meetings, again, I see a couple of people with the flyer. They'll be at this address. Okay. And you can be a part of our Ross Council, where your mind is one of the greatest tools we can ever have.
That's it.
And so I invite you to be a part of that council. I invite you to advocate with your local police officers. And I invite you to advocate out loud. Don't be quiet. I know some of y'all, I can't tell y'all quiet. Y'all loud. So be loud, okay? I appreciate you guys.
Thank you, Vanshika. Now, what did you bring with you today? What are these packets here? Tell us a little bit about this.
So these are some of the things we pass out. We pass out Narcan.
Okay.
Narcan is about $55 a box.
What?
And whenever I go into the community, I try to give this to people. They say, I don't need that. right?
Wow.
I don't know nobody doing that. But if you look at the coroner medical examiner's office for Chicago, it says that over 1,000 people last year died from fentanyl mixed with cocaine or heroin. If you look at Black people, we're in the thousands. And every week we get notifications of spikes within our community from the health, from IDHS or Illinois Health Department. And so one of the main things we do is we try to get Narcan into people's hands because you could save a life. You might not be, as a matter of fact, it's usually the person not doing the substance who administers it or people who are using it together. And so we try to make sure people have Narcan and know how to use it because, again, other groups of people in Chicago, the numbers are in the hundreds or 300 in the Hispanic neighborhood. Last year, about 1,004 Black people
in the
died
Black community.
In the Black community from a opioid overdose. And so Narcan, if you don't know, an opioid overdose is basically when a person is suffocating to death because the opioid is on their brain receptors. And so what this does is it knocks those things off the brain so that the body remembers how to breathe again. So we always ask people to have it on them, to, do rescue breathing if you know how to do it, but mostly have access to it because if you see a person who is they're most likely maybe suffocate. Even if they don't know, these are fentanyl test strips and xylazine test strips, and we give them to people who are using so that they know, okay, you think you bought marijuana, but go ahead and test a bit of it to see if it's only marijuana, because fentanyl kills at alarming levels. All you need is a salt pinch of it. To really, and so we put these things in the community so people know, okay, test what you're using, or if you're around someone, even in the community, and they need help, you can give them this. And the reason we have these, they're nasal sprays. Some people are afraid of needles. These are nasal sprays. And, sorry. 1 second. What you do is you take the spray, you don't pump it like it's Nasonex or one of those things. You'll give the dose out. You put it directly into the nose, upwards, and you pump up, right? 1 dose. You give rescue breathing, they should come back within 2 minutes. If they don't, give the second one. And if somebody's around you, immediately call 911. Because even if they do come to, they can always go back because the drug is still in their system, and it could start blocking receptors again.
Wow. So this is to help the person until
911 comes. It's to reverse an overdose. And again, an opioid overdose, and this could be for elderly people too, because sometimes doctors prescribe opioids to help with pain. But sometimes you forget, like, did I take that pill? And you take it again, right? And you forget, and now you might be in a state where you're having an overdose, and somebody needs to be able to help you out of that and call 911. And so that's why we make sure people know.
Now we have a question over here.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, that's good. Yeah, it's a lot of it going on everywhere, and that's why we. Oh. Okay. It's to help with their overdose.
You have these at your table over there?
Yeah, I have them at my table.
You have something at your table, and you also have the information about tomorrow's meeting. Yeah. I want y'all to go over and get the resource, at least the one sheet, so you can find out what's going on right here in our community. You didn't have to go downtown to get this information today. Aren't you glad about that?
Yep.
Vanshika, thank you for being here. Is there any last words? Who did you bring with you today?
Oh, this is my husband, Francis.
Your husband? Yeah. Hi, Francis.
Hey, Francis.
Clap it up for Francis, everybody. Does Francis work with you?
He does work with me.
Francis, you want to come up here to say anything? Come on up for a minute. Clap it up for Francis, y'all. Francis, you can bring your camera. We can take a movie of you, too. Let's give Francis a mic. Here, Francis. Might want to turn it on.
Okay.
It's not on.
Hello. Hello.
There you go. Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah, so Francis, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so my name is Dr. Francis Okla. I'm originally from Ghana.
Okay.
Yes, and this is my wife.
Yeah. You hear how he said that?
Yes.
This is my wife.
Yes. So I attended my medical school in China, and that's where we met. So
We met in China.
We both met in China. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting places.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we're really happy that you found your life's work and mission to help our community. I'm so glad. I'm glad to finally meet you. I've heard so much about you.
Yeah.
And it is my pleasure to have met you in person today.
Thank you.
And so glad that you guys are hand in hand working this work for our community.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Is there anything you want to say to us? Any parting words to us?
It feels like she has said everything. So, yes.
Yeah.
So I think we should just.
He's a doctor. I always look at him to make sure my science is correct.
Yes. So everything she said is very important, and reflection is very important for everyone to take advantage of what is going on in their communities.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we are glad to meet you, Francis. And Vanshika, thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you, guys.
Let's give her some power love, y'all. Thank you so much. Wonderful job. All right. Y'all good? All right, well, we about to clown. So if you online and you are not here, somebody said too bad. I want you to come out and invite your friends to come out and be with us. But let's turn and look at the camera and say, see ya till next time. Clap it up for our Power family online, everybody.